Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Guess who's talking crypto? I did not know that Scottie Pippen was into crypto, one of the legendary NBA stars from that golden period on the Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen, he did say, being a bull taught me that history always repeats. Bitcoin drops before elections, but look at what happens next. And, when he said being a bull, I think he intended that double entendre there. Nevertheless, take a look at this, guys. U.S. elections 2016. By the way, election day is tomorrow, so if you are an American citizen, I do suggest you go out and vote. Elections 2016, elections 2020, and elections 2024. And look at where Bitcoin was at this point in time. So in 2016, I guess from the most recent high that it printed, it was down 10.2%. In 2020, you can see it was down about 6.1%. And now, guys, we're down about 6.3% in 2024. Someone else the other day did just talk about the idea that Bitcoin is the lowest you will see it on election day. And then from there, guys, it just tends to shoot up. And we've seen this time and time again from 2020, 2016, and even 2012. Well, I've got the Bitcoin chart up here today. And right now, let me just put that up there. So that is all-time high. Right now, Bitcoin is right in and around here. And if I zoom in on that, you guys can see Bitcoin is just poised to make its way up. You can see the day before Sunday, November the 3rd, we did see, quite a bit of movement here for Bitcoin, but it was pushing its way up. The candlestick finally resulting in a long tail and small body. And now this indecisive candlestick, guys, we have seen movement to the upside, to the downside, but price is basically remaining in that area there, kind of right smack dab in the middle. So right now, Bitcoin is trading at 68,700 per coin. Of course, we got to get up past 73,008 or something like that. 73,800. That is all-time high. And what some are now saying, including Scottie Pippen, is that the U.S. elections are what's going to really get this thing rocking. I mean, greed and fear right now at 53. So we're back in neutral territory, and we have decreased a little bit. Bitcoin dominance is at 60.45%. So the Bitcoin dominance story, that is the other thing that we should be paying attention to, getting up above 60%. So on this chart here, the coin market cap could have been a little out of date. Here, let me throw this on the weekly because we've got to look at a lot of history here. So historically, what have we seen? We've seen basing in and around 60%, in between 60 and 63% roughly. In former bull runs, what have we seen? Well, we've seen Bitcoin dominance get up as high as 73% before coming down. This was September 2019, it did come down back here into the 58% level. And then by January 2021, you guys remember what happened there, 73.34%. Let's bring up the Bitcoin chart again. January 2021, right in around here. And boom, the rest was history. So Bitcoin popped, but then eventually dropped. At this point in here, this is when altcoins started to run. So even though Bitcoin was continuing to make its way up, altcoins did see their time in the sun over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin's only up about a half a percentage point. Same with Ethereum. We've got BNB coin, that's up by a little bit. Solana staying relatively flat, guys. XRP up 1.66% in the last 24 hours. Dogecoin has seen a bit of a surge too, up 5.16%. Some of these altcoins, I think the more established ones are getting a little more traction, at least right now. I think, there's a lot of anticipation right now surrounding this election, and this is, what's getting the FOMO starting to stir. Ali charts here bringing this up. Okay, in less than a year since their launch, Bitcoin ETFs have collectively amassed over 1 million BTC. This is a value of approximately $70 billion. So check this out over here. This is gradually since early February 2024. This is what we've seen for historical Bitcoin holdings, and how this trend, despite the fact that Bitcoin price shot up and then came back down, how this trend has just continued to make its way up. So it is not coinciding with what Bitcoin price has been doing. NSBD also noticing that. Can you please explain why the price didn't skyrocket? How many did retail accumulate during the last cycle? And Ali chart saying Bitcoin went from 15,000 to 73,000. What do you mean it didn't skyrocket? So yeah, okay, the overall trend did skyrocket, but the nuances here are not demonstrated in this chart because, as you guys know, Bitcoin did move up, and then we've been seeing that consolidation period for about 6 months now, and that is definitely not what we've been seeing on this chart. It's just been a pretty steady move to the upside. So, guys, a good indication that institutions continuing to get into cryptocurrency. I mean, Bitcoin in particular. And Eisenreich here posting this, okay? Again, Matt Siegel, I think his name's Matt Siegel from Van Eck. Guess what his prediction is for Bitcoin by the year 2050?
Very soon.
We have a model that assumes that by 2050, this is very long term, that Bitcoin becomes a reserve asset that's used in global trade and held by global central banks at a very modest 2% weight. And in that model, we arrive at a $3 million price target for Bitcoin. Now, that sounds, extreme, but that's a 16% compound annual growth rate for a couple decades. That's not really that extreme. So into the millions over the medium term is a high conviction call.
Into the millions in the medium term for one Bitcoin, one token. Could you imagine? What is that going to mean for altcoins? What is that going to mean for the utility tokens? Again, guys, this is all connected, and we are currently right now in a spec run. Of course, the elections. I mean, many people are suggesting that these elections are really going to, either put the stamp of approval on crypto or kill it altogether. For more information on what I'm doing this bull run, you can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If you're feeling like this is a moving target, if you're feeling like, okay, this is my first bull run and I need some guidance, follow me, guys. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Again, none of it is financial advice, but considering I've been now in 2 bull runs, this is my 3rd, I have more insight into what I think is going to happen, where we could pinpoint the top, because that's kind of all why we're here, right? We want to pinpoint the top of the market. We want to sell out of our altcoins when they do pump. We want to make sure we get the best price for our XRP. And I do plan on selling some and keeping some. So patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month. So if you guys are interested in what I'm doing, follow me. You can find me over there. Anders here posting this. People may not like it, but crypto is clearly a bipartisan issue in the United States. A Harris win likely means 4 more years of a war on crypto, which would be devastating to U.S. crypto innovation and the U.S. crypto industry. Hasher Ventures down here saying, largely agree. But if Senator Sherrod Brown and Senator Elizabeth Warren are ousted, what would be the result of pro-crypto voting and might help persuade Harris to adjust? Also, we are fast approaching that day where U.S. government needs crypto for liquidity and stability for the GFS. Anders here responding. Anders here responding, true, let's hope, especially if John Deaton does replace Senator Warren and then Brummer replaces Gary Gensler. Now, I mean, we can only hope. These are more intricate pieces of the puzzle, of course. Some are even suggesting that it's not going to matter, like Rand Nooner here. There are a lot of people writing long threads about potential outcomes of the elections and their implications. It's simple, he says, and we don't need long threads. He says, if Trump wins, everything goes up. If Kamala wins, Bitcoin goes up, then Ethereum, and then altcoins are down at first, but then slowly go up. America, though, he says, will go down. That's a separate political issue. But with regards to cryptocurrency, he says, essentially, it's not going to matter. So again, guys, if you're interested in what I'm doing, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I've been noticing, some interesting activity on the Bitcoin chart. We will have to see how altcoins do respond to this. Of course, XRP right now not moving too much. I mean, yesterday it was below 50 cents. Right now it's trading in and around 51.1. I couldn't believe it when I saw this, and I thought, especially for the XRP community, that this is important to report on. Will Linqto freeze sales and withdrawals within the next 48 hours? Apparently, there has been a scandal here, a lawsuit against Linqto, Bill Saras, and Joe Endozo. Details are emerging. Insider trading and front-running, use of unlicensed brokers. Linqto advertised 750,000 users when the real number was around 10,000, and 30% were unaccredited. Unconsiderably high in undisclosed markups, sometimes exceeding 150% above the FINRA recommendations, with algorithms set to increase the price each time a unit was purchased. I don't know how many of you guys did invest with Linqto. Me personally, I never got involved with them. I know there were, I think, some YouTubers that did get involved and that had pretty close relationships with them. Employees here expedite friends of sales to avoid the auto increase ahead of Linqto customers. This is not good news. Linqto did not disclose they made the market in securities they offered, creating FOMO market techniques, falsely claiming shares were about to sell out. Their marketing techniques certainly crossed the line. They circumvented the SEC Rule 506B. Investors were not buying shares, even though this was their marketing. No compliance vetting in certain countries. An internal test was created. Only 50% passed, yet this test did not meet FINRA standards. Okay, so here is the this is the I guess the complaint, the final the official filing for the lawsuit. I will link this in the description. Crypto Eddie does link the trellis.law document down here, so I will link her tweet if you guys want access to this. Cash down here saying happy we broke ties with them a long time ago. Minus Wells commenting, who from the community was associated with them again? I think he's being facetious. Jeff here from On the Chain saying, wow, another shady one down. Oh, wow, says Vix. It always comes out in the wash. And I don't want to, name, I don't like bad-mouthing anybody here. But again, guys, just be careful what you decide to do always. Generally, be careful who you decide to trust, who you decide to listen to with regards to these types of investment opportunities. I'm going to tell you, I've always been upfront with you guys, what I'm doing, who I've been paid by. As you guys can probably see, I don't generally do paid partnerships unless I really do believe in the product and if it does tie in with my whole branding. But anyway, thought I'd bring this to you if you guys perhaps were connected to this and need to know more information. Financial Freedom here also mentioning we'll link to free sales and withdrawals within the next 48 hours. So getting back to this, I think it could be very likely. Warning, same people already are reporting selling glitches when trying to sell their private equity within the Linqto app, glitch or on purpose. This is what I've been told. So if you're unable to sell due to an app glitch, you can't move money out. Anyone else heard of this or just my sources? This is a bad sign. Linqto, is this the Titanic moment? Las Vegas 2024. If you were there, you've seen special treatment customers that have over $100,000 gone, and now potentially all that money is gone and more lawsuits to follow. Is this a sinking ship? And then he tags some people who have been following this, some people who are involved and connected to Linqto, and then Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati. Boy. I'm just going to say I'm happy I was not involved with this, but I do feel sorry for those who were. So do reach out to these people if you think, Crypto Eddie's very approachable and is quite knowledgeable. So, I don't have more information on this, guys, unfortunately. But if there is a lawsuit coming about, I do suggest you, if you did get scammed, I do suggest you look into it. I guess maybe the details are still developing at this moment in time. Michael Branch bringing this to our attention. Eric Van Miltenberg, SVP of Strategic Initiatives at Ripple. He says the vision for the company is essentially making sure everything comes together in this internet of value. So he was apparently on the Thinking Crypto podcast. Miltenberg said Ripple's creators started the project to enable value interoperability. Of course, the XRPL, RippleNet, and XRP, they were created initially to transfer funds cross-border, right? Cross-border payments, making that less of a pain point for banks and financial institutions. Since then, guys, they've been working hard on improving the XRP ledger and improving use cases, creating more verticals. And so this is what Miltenberg says. He believes blockchain technology is still in the early stages, including Ripple and its solutions. He mentioned some of the initiatives he and the Ripple team are working on, like Ripple Impact. Miltenberg said Ripple Impact goes back to the company's original goals and is part of the firm's DNA. He said Ripple's technology is not only good for business, but also unlocks value and helps with some of the problems facing the world. Miltenberg explained that Ripple has approached its solution in a different way. Ripple Impact is the firm's corporate giving and philanthropic arm. He mentioned some of the initiative's parts, including employee volunteering, which is a way Ripple gives back to the community. He also did mention down here the UBRI. And so essentially, I guess through all these initiatives, through the UBRI and many other different projects that Ripple is building, guys, they want to make this internet of value a reality, essentially leveraging XRP for more things than just cross-border payments. So a very, logical approach. They've been very transparent about this too. So I guess we'll have to see what happens next. Wanted to thank Michael for posting that. With regards to the real world utility, that main vertical, the cross-border payments, that has been growing steadily. And guys, could we in fact start to see this coming soon, perhaps by the end of 2024? XRP is already deemed a non-security. So is FedWire giving us some hints here? Smoke posting this. The strongest indicator that a shift to blockchain-based systems. This was from a Federal Reserve FedWire presentation. Listen to this.
Okay, so here we just want to talk about, that we are retiring the FedWire Funds offline service. It is our telephone-based service, and we will retire this on December 31st, 2024. at 6:30 p.m. So that is the closing time for our offline service. So we will keep the service open through that business day, but then after 6:30 p.m., the service will be discontinued. And we made this decision because we've had declining customer interest in the service and declining volume over time, and it is a manually intensive and aging service. And it just made more sense to retire it rather than continue to maintain the service. Please note, though, if you are also using the offline security service, we are not retiring that service. So that service will remain. The retirement is only about the FedWire Funds offline service. We did send a communication to all of our offline funds customers back in September. I included the link here to that communication in case you didn't receive it. And then we've also put together some frequently asked questions that we've been receiving about this change, and I included the link as well. Turning to the next slide. So what are the actions that our offline funds customers must take now? So if you want to maintain your access to the FedWire Fund service following the retirement, you're going to have to take one of two actions before the end of the year. And we recommend that you start taking these actions now and that you don't wait until close to the end of the year, because there is a setup process for both of these actions. So the first one would be to obtain your own FedLine Advantage connection and get access to the Fed Payments Manager Funds application. And this is our browser-based application where you can go and manually key in your wire instructions. So instead of calling them in over the phone like you do today, you'll just be able to log into this application and enter them on the screen and submit them that way. And you will also be able to receive transactions through the Fed Payments Manager Funds application.
So this was Gina Solito from FedWire. But notice what she said here. Offline funds customers must take one of the following actions well in advance of December 31st, 2024. They're going to be running the old legacy system until 6:30 p.m. on that business day. But guys, I think smoke is onto something here. The strongest indicator that there is going to be a shift. This isn't speculation. They mentioned it right here in this clip. The permanent shutdown of FedWire's only offline feature marks more than a routine system update. It's a clear signal of what lies ahead. All systems are moving digital native, internet-based platforms, and FedWire is the world's oldest electronic payment mechanism, will soon find its place in the digital era. Of course, we already know that there is a connection to FedWire and using Volente technologies connecting to the XRPL. Here is their adoption timeline if you guys don't remember. A new Federal Reserve report on the outlook for instant payments adoption in the U.S. offers institutional predictions on when certain new FedWire features will be implemented. So, guys, Smoke did post this. This is a document from just this year. So 2024 instant payment adoption outlook. And as you guys can see in here, July 25th and August 20th, 2024 include responses from 25 third-party enablers such as payment processors, gateways, digital vendors, bankers, banks, and corporate credit unions serving 90% of United States of the U.S. financial institutions. So 90% of U.S. financial institutions there. And check this out. Okay, so top use case drivers, predictions on the timing, reach, and relative benefits of use cases for instant payment adoption. Down here, ready sooner than 1 year. So they're saying within a year, we're going to see some more use cases being developed. Rapid adoption of financial institutions enabling instant payments, guys. More with regards to that near-term grow receiver network. Okay, rapid adoption by financial institutions to enable receipt of instant payments, and they want to leverage. This is big. Fintech partnerships with institutions, i.e., digital wallets. And the gig economy. What action should be prioritized in the near term to accelerate adoption of instant payments? So within the next 12 to 24 months, guys, we know they can do this very, very quickly. Remember, Ripple did confirm FedNow's network effects will transform payments and boost XRP. This was edited just last week, October the 26th, 2024, originally posted back in September of this year. And I do also just want to reiterate, Volente did join the Federal Reserve's pilot program for FedNow's instant payments. And why that is important, guys, is because Volente technology does use the VolPay Ripple processor module speed integration to the Ripple global settlement system. So Volente's VolPay Ripple processor simplifies the connection to Ripple's near real-time payment and settlement network. And here is just a 2-page document discussing how Volente Technologies is connected to Ripple, and FedNow is using Volente to power their system. And a representative, guys, from the Federal Reserve, from FedNow, did just say that they're going to retire the legacy networking system by the end of 2024. So I guess what I'm saying here, cross-border payments, perhaps a new innovative approach coming from FedWire. I know back, in the early days, they were talking about how it was just going to be used for domestic payments, but just last year in March of 2023, they did say FedNow did eye cross-border enhancements for this new real-time payment system. I mean, guys, it's all lining up. XRP already has clarity in the United States. We're going to see this liquidity surge come from the FOMOers. Remember, the spec market starts heating up after the election, but that's just Scotty's opinion and just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.